Yeah.
No, thanks. I'm not really interested.
I saw you cross the leg.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
You waited at it.
No, that's okay. Thanks.
Hey, if you don't.
No, it's fine. You can just walk away now.
Do you know any man that consumes Andrew Tate's kind of content, Kevin Samuel's kind of content, Fresh and Fit's kind of content? How do such men perceive women? How do they behave in relationships with women? Let's watch this video.
I was with my best friend from 19 to 26 years old. I do everything, okay? This is the story that he would tell everybody when they would ask what kind of person I am. We've been together for like 2.5 years at this point, maybe 2 years, and he had gotten signed to Universal Music, an amazing producer, artist, fantastic. And he was living in Vegas, and I showed up at his place in Vegas for the first time since he had moved there. And this man was sleeping on a blow-up mattress. And I was like, there was no way that the man that I love is going to sleep on a blow-up mattress. I had no job at this point. I had just moved to the US, was getting my green card. I couldn't work. With the little money that I did have, I went and I bought him a mattress and put it in the back of my Passat, okay? And then proceeded to carry that mattress up 3 flights of stairs at like 9 o'clock in the morning in the scorching Vegas heat. Walk in there, I'm like panting, sweating, dying, because that's what you do when you love somebody. That's the kind of person that I am in a relationship. I will give 100% of myself and the last bit of energy that I have because I love you. That is what a woman does. Yeah, we can talk about how I cooked and cleaned for him and helped him with his business and helped him become a millionaire, and now he lives in a nice penthouse apartment in Vancouver. I don't need to talk about that because I know what kind of woman I am when I show up in a relationship. You want to know I ruined that relationship? We were long distance for a period of time. I went during the pandemic and I was staying with him in Vancouver, and something changed. And you want to know what changed? He started watching podcasts like Fresh and Fit. He started listening to content about MGTOW, and that man changed. And I would sit across from him and not understand the person that I was seeing. I felt like I was waking up to somebody that I did not know. I am qualified to talk about it. I am qualified to understand the repercussions that red pill content have on men, because the person that I wanted to spend my life with, the person I was in love with, the person I wanted to marry changed overnight because of the content like that. And I see now the men who do watch that content, I hear the things that they say because I would listen to it. I actually started consuming that content because I wanted to understand what happened. To all the men who asked me that question, there's your answer.
Fresh and Fit kind of content is very toxic, and naive men are the ones that fall prey for such content. They take it to heart and run with it. Let's have a look at the comment section. My brother-in-law has changed because of red pill content. Now my sister and I don't talk, and he is brainwashing his little son, and it's so devastating. Anyone letting Fresh and Fit change their mind is crazy work. Red pill content only influences weak men who don't feel secure in their manhood. Real men are disgusted by red pill content and have a solid foundation of values and morals, and they stick to it. Red pill content can lead men astray. I know of a particular guy that was consuming red pill content. He changed and started maltreating his girlfriend, and that led to the end of the relationship. So it's very detrimental to young boys, especially those people that don't know who they are, that don't understand life, don't understand their existence, don't understand what it takes, what it means to treat your fellow person, your fellow human being as a human. Because red pill content teaches men to dehumanize women, teaches men to maltreat women in relationship. I know I've heard people say, oh, that's not what red pill content is all about. It encourages men to strive to be better, to make more money. That is one aspect of it. The other aspect of it, when it comes to relationship, teaches men to maltreat women and use women in relationship. Teaches men not to see women as humans, but see us as objects in relationships. This happened to me. Fell in love with a great guy, and then he listened to Fresh and Fit and asked me what I brought to the table in my apartment. Can you imagine that? You are in her apartment and you're asking her such a question. I said, pack your get out, never speak to me again. To any Fresh and Fit Andrew Tate watchers out there, this is what women think of you afterwards. As a man, red pill content ruined my relationship. I overconsumed it and I just changed into a different person. That's exactly what it makes men do. You begin to believe the lies and you start acting it out. Over time, you become a different person. My friend's husband got into watching Red Pill and Passport Bros content. A year later, they are separated, shaking my head. I have a friend who is genuinely one of the kindest, most awesome man I've ever met, and I can slowly see him going down a red pill conservative pipeline, and it is so tragic. My now boyfriend was watching red pill content at some point and I heard it. So I went to see and I said, let's talk about it. I listened to him and why he liked it. I talked about why it's bad. There is always two sides to every story. He just saw the truth. Red pill content just enlightened men to see their truth and not live their lives unhealthy and not become a slave. Let's talk about this comment. What truth is he talking about? If men become more responsible, the numerous problems we have in relationships will reduce. If men stop cheating, if men start being humans and stop seeing women as slaves, relationship problems will reduce. So what truth is he talking about? A lot of people that watch red pill content are damaged, and watching that content damages them more. So what truth is this one talking about? Men not becoming slaves. Women are already the slaves. Have you ever listened to Myron and he made sense with his statement? I'm talking about the Myron of Fresh and Fit. That man is always angry, bitter, cursing out, lashing out on women. So what is there to learn from him, if not toxicity, hatred, anger? If his contents were educative, encouraging, promoting peace and unity in relationships and good to the human race, why then did they ban him from all the social media platforms? Why did they ban Fresh and Fit? Why did Andrew Tate have problems? Why are people speaking against him? Their contents are very toxic and they are harmful to women and even the men consuming it too. It wasn't the content's fault. He just wasn't able to critically think about what he was consuming. The problem with Red Pill is the extremist. Red Pill was supposed to wake men up to see the realities of the world and to motivate them to get on their purpose, get in the gym, be masculine. That's what they said was the initial reason they started the whole Red Pill content. But people have taken it out of context. People have taken it the other way. They're not using it as a tool to drag women down, to talk down on women, and to maltreat women in relationships. Like men were not maltreating us before, they're using the red pill content to even make it worse. I knew my loving ex-fiance fell down the red pill pipeline when in our last convo he said, "When have you ever bought me flowers?" After I funded his entire lifestyle for years. No man is safe from this.
No thanks, I'm not really interested.
I saw you cross the leg.
No, that's okay, thank you.
You waited at it.
No, that's okay, thanks.
Hey, but if you don't,
No, it's fine, you can just walk away now.
you don't get a much.
No, like it's fine. No, like it's fine. Okay, you can. I'm gonna go. No, bruh. Stop following me, bruh. No, please stop. Somebody help.
That man might possibly be Fresh and Fit student, Andrew Tate's candidate, because they are being taught not to take no from women. They don't take rejection from women. They can't handle rejection. Let's have a look at the comment section. They think not really or thank you are still a window or opportunity for them. You have to be more direct. Say, I told you 3 times already that I'm not interested. How many times do I have to? I understand. See, everyone is different. Some people don't need to get violent to pass their message across. Some people are naturally soft. Them being nice and smiling and saying no does not mean that they don't mean their no. Their no is their no. But that is the way they pass their message across. While some people don't receive soft rejection as rejection, they think, oh, because this person is being nice, the person is being polite, saying please, saying thank you, and smiling means the person still wants it. No. Once you hear no, a no is a no, no matter how it's been said. Whether it's been said with a tiny voice or a loud voice, a no is a no. I'm always wearing a fake engagement ring. Just last week, one guy kept flirting. I said no. He insisted. I told him I was engaged. He kept going. Your husband doesn't have to know. Yeah. Some men will tell you, oh, don't worry, your husband wouldn't know. We'll just keep it secret. Yeah, you can have me by the side. I'm not going to interfere in your marriage or in your relationship. Yeah, some men are like that. I had a guest at my work comment about me being married. insisted that I take his number, which I refused. Then said I should just look him up in our system and call him if I'm ever unhappy in my marriage. Never met the man before and had to turn him down multiple times, and he still thought I'd leave my husband of 13 years. The man was also at least 35 to 40 years older than me, but here, just say no. I've had so many encounters like this. One that sticks out, I was 18 thereabouts, had my headphones in at the store. A guy taps me on the shoulder and says, I had to follow you to tell you how beautiful you are. That is harassment. I told my children, if you are in a public and there are other people around, make them as uncomfortable as they make you. Get loud, say how young you are, scream out you've asked them to stop several times, and make eye contact with someone else and ask them to call the cops. You feel unsafe. I feel for you. I'm 5'4" and very tiny. Had a guy following me in the grocery store. After telling me, looking good little one, he thought I was a kid and he was about 50 something. Got a worker to work me out. I remember I told a man no. He followed me on the bus into the dentist's office. He told them he was my kid's dad. Followed me to the grocery store, and on the bus, I was scared. Having someone follow you around, a man follow you around, having a man stalk you can be very dangerous because you don't know the man's intention. Not everyone you see walking on the street has their mental health intact. Some people are psychopaths. Some people are looking for who to kill. Some people are serial killers. So this is not something for you to overlook and think, oh, maybe he's just being a man. No, it's dangerous and scary. I had this happen a few times when I was younger. If you're uncomfortable, I always recommend shouting. Shout out to I said no loud enough that someone will hear you. Don't feel embarrassed. Be safe. I found a trick to this. Look him dead in the eye and say a firm I said no. Adding please leave me alone and keep repeating please leave me alone loudly. There is some who will warn about being hurt. Let's read more stories. I literally held up my ring and said, I'm taken. Dude responds with, I don't care about that. Followed me from the bar to the table. Then my fiance came back from the bathroom. Then he backed off. Last time this happened, I said no 3 times and then got fed up and just started backing hella loud. He was hella embarrassed and was like, you could have said no, like for real? She said no. I don't know if you wanted her to fight you so you could understand the meaning of no. Oh, I guess a lot of men expect women to be aggressive when they say no. Women are not men. People approach things different. Like I said, some people are soft-spoken. What matters most is, did they say no or not? If they said no, a no is a no, no matter how it's been said.
But I will never understand why someone will say something like this. Yeah, grape's not that big of a deal. When they have their whole last name on their account. Especially when they know things like this exist on the internet. Guilty of 3 random attacks. The most egregious of which was a 66-year-old woman walking her dog in a park. And then you went on to make a video like this. You were looking for support for saying that grape isn't a big deal and that we shouldn't over-punish people who do it. Did you really think people were going to support you in that logic? Because you didn't. The ratio is painful. But, you know, keep saying shit on the internet. Because what do they say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Winner, winner.
Today on, did you just say that out loud? Did you just say that out loud?
His comment is disturbing and deeply problematic. His comment downplays the severity of grape, which is not only a violent crime, but also leaves everlasting psychological, emotional, and physical scars on the victim. This idea that is not as bad as people think. Sometimes you would hear men say, oh, even the woman enjoyed it. It is a very dangerous narrative. Such narrative contributes to the grape culture, minimizes the survivor's pain, and excuses the perpetrator or perpetrators. Let's not even talk about the sentencing argument. The focus is supposed to be on the survivors getting justice, not sympathy for the offenders. The legal system fails the victim when it comes to grape situation in many ways. We've even spoken about some cases on this channel. Many rapists walk free or even receive minimal sentences. It makes sense for men not to say it to be a big problem because to them, they are thirsty for sex and they believe women were created to give them sex. That is a very bad way to think, but I tell you, that is why a lot of men don't see rape as an issue. Why should they even see it as an issue when in most cases they are the ones doing it to women? I'm not dismissing the fact that some men also do get raped by their fellow men or women, but I'm focusing more on what is common: women getting raped by men. Let's have a look at the comment section. I don't think women truly realize that given the chance, most men would rape because they think it's something that every human being should enjoy. Even when they're forcefully doing it on a woman, oh, she should be happy. No, not everyone out there is thirsty. If civilization fell, most males would take any and every opportunity to abuse women and girls, hence why they are offended. Makes sense. A lot of men kick against rape sentencing, kick against rapists getting punishment, because to them, they don't understand it. It's still this mentality of I own a woman, so because I own you, you don't have the right to go out there and cheat. Should any man sleep with my wife, he's trespassing. But it's okay for that same man to go out there and sleep with women, sleep with as many women as possible. This mindset of ownership, owning women as property, is the mindset a lot of men have there. And it's also the mindset that a lot of rapists have. To them, any woman that is single, even if she's not single, they have a right to her body. So it's not a matter of whether she's going to accept or not. It's more of them taking it whenever they want. And if she refuses them from taking it, they have the right to forcefully take it from her. That is the mindset a lot of men have out there, especially those incels and red pillars. They absolutely understand it when you talk about them being raped though. Next time they say that to you, ask them what they would do to the man 2 times their size who would violently penetrate them.
When I say that if I was ever raped, I get the most interesting reaction from men. Because with women, if I were to say that, they are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. They seem completely understanding of it. But when I'm in a conversation and it comes up and it's a man, they seem harrowed. They seem personally offended, as though the notion of doing that is absurd. And they'll be like, but taking a life, how could you even say that? That's insane, you're crazy. But raping someone isn't? And for a lot of them, it almost seems like I'm saying I would them. Just an interesting thing I've noticed. Almost like they always value the safety of the rapist more than the safety of the person who is the victim. Because to them, they will relate more to the rapist than they ever will to a victim. Or they don't think it's big enough of a deal to take someone's life over. I mean, it's such a small thing, right? I have yet to find one guy who did not react as though they were personally being threatened by that statement. And if try this out, I promise you, you will see a person's true character when you say this.
Let's hear what people are saying in the comment section. As someone who that happened to, it was horrendous. The bruising around my neck, the random PTSD that just trigger. I'm still having night terrors 10 years later. Yeah, not that bad. That's not going into all the trust issues I have with dating now. Life sentence seems fair, as it leads to lifetime of trauma and recovering. So life sentence in jail is a fair sentence, a life for a life lost. That makes sense if you ask me. It ruined my life. I had to fight so hard to get back to myself and still walk around wondering if people think I'm imposing a normal person. Most men agree with that post. In my sociology textbook, you will find 82% of men agree. That's okay if the woman turned you on. I'm saying that from a country who didn't elect a man convicted of it. Death alone for the victim does not cause long-lasting trauma. You wouldn't even know. Assault does. So it would definitely be worse for the victim than death would. It's so much worse than murder. You're taking someone else's autonomy away and torture them, and then they have to forever live with what has happened to them. It's a very difficult thing to deal with. If you'd love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch a man dump his 10 years struggle of girlfriend to marry a lady he met in 3 months. And I'll see you all in another one. Thanks for watching.